Hello, second graders. I hope you guys enjoyed the story about Pete the Cat and his missing cupcakes. And I hope you also liked looking at Wayne Thiebaud's artwork, because we are going to use both of those to inspire us for our artwork today. We are going to do 3 cupcakes across our paper. So when we start, we want to start in the center so that way we make sure we have room for the other 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making 2 lines that come toward each other just a little bit. And I'm going to curve the bottom. Don't go straight across. You want to give it a curve so it looks like that is a nice 3D cupcake. And then to put the top, this is the foil part of our cupcake. We're going to do zigzag, which is kind of like putting a bunch of W's together. Okay. Now we're going to do this 2 more times, one on both sides. So I'm going to real quick come over here and do 2 lines on either side here. Nice curve to connect them. And a zigzag on top. And then again over here. 2 nice lines together, curve, and then a zigzag on top. All right, so once we have our 3 cupcake foils, before going into all the fun fancy details we can do up here, I'm going to come down and create the lines of my foil coming down. Okay, they're already starting to look like cupcakes, aren't they? Pretty cool. All right, so we have a couple different ways that you can do your cupcakes. You can choose to go with the nice kind of soft frosting on top. You can choose to go with the kind of the spiral frosting. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to make a bump and a bump and then a bump. Okay. The reason this goes that way a little bit more is because we're going to come back in here and make a little hook like that. And we're going to bring this down and make a bump and a bump. So we're going to hook backwards on this one and then 2 bumps on this side. And then we want to make a nice spiral in, and in. Excuse me. So that looks like the nice little spirally, right? Okay, the other kind of cupcake you could do is kind of the ones that have the cupcake kind of done in little squirts. So what we're going to do for this one is just kind of come up, 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 and up. So just kind of bumpy lines all the way around. All right. You can add extra toppings to these. So if you wanted to put kind of a strawberry or some kind of topping on each one, you could do one of these with sprinkles. Lots of fun things you can do with each of these. Okay. And maybe I want a cherry on top of this one. Ooh, look at that cherry. Yummies. All right, and the last thing I'm going to do before finishing my drawing is go back through and create the table. And the table does not sit right at the bottom of our cupcakes, because that means that they would be on the very edge of the table. We want to move our table back just a little bit so that it kind of goes through behind here. So you want to pretend draw through here, continue on this side, pretend draw through here, continue on this side, pretend draw, and then continue over here. Now we're ready to start adding some color to these. I'm going to be using oil pastels for mine. And this is really going to be fun because you can kind of create your own detail as you're adding color. The number one thing I want you to focus on is going to be highlights and shadows. So we're going to pretend that our light is coming at this side, which means that our highlights are going to be on this side of the cupcakes and our shadows are going to be on this side of the cupcakes. So for example, I have a nice strawberry up here, so I'm going to get that colored in. If I wanted this to look like strawberry cupcake frosting, I'm probably going to use my red for the darker side and then like a pink, but since I don't have pink, I'm going to have to lighten and double over top with white. I'm going to come over to this side and get lighter. And you don't have to do, oh, I do have pink, look at that. And I can go back over top of this with my pink to make this look like it's pink frosting. So I'm using my red as my shadow, and I'm using my pink as my middle color. And then on the very far edge, what I'm going to do is add some white kind of to lighten this up. Hopefully this doesn't smear dirty stuff in here because it's got quite a bit of dirt on it. So I'm going to put some white on there and I'm going to drag that white into my pink. See, so you have a nice shadow effect going on. Lightest should be on this side, middle tone, and darker over here. And if I want to lighten that up a little bit, I can always come back in here and add just a little bit more white there. Okay, so let's say this is a chocolate mousse. Yummies. I'm going to use brown for my middle color. And what I want to do is just find a few spots on these ends over here to create my highlight. And I'm going to go back in there with the shadow to darken some of that as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use my peach to kind of make a lighter spot. So you don't always have to use white to make your highlights. As long as it's lighter, it's going to work. And it looks nice and chocolatey, huh? And then I need to create a shadow. Let me use maybe purple to create my shadow a little bit on here. And shadow's going to be wherever the light is not hitting. So we're going to go on this side of my cupcake for my shadow. And this does not have to be perfect. You guys just have fun adding highlights and shadows however you want to. Okay, and then for my last one, let's make this orange because that sounds fun. For orange, what I'm going to do for my highlight is use yellow. So I'm going to get all the way up to the front to this side, and instead of going all the way to the tip, I'm going to switch colors to yellow. And you'll see how that lightens it up. Gives it kind of a fun look. It's a nice bright orange frosting. Okay, so have fun creating your highlights and shadows as you do this. You can use either a blue or purple for your shadow on the sides over here. I'm going to use blue, and I'm going to leave the rest of this white. So I'm going to come in here and get half of each of these colored in blue. And then what I'm going to do is come and just create kind of a line on each of these for a part of the shadow over there. Because you know how it's rippled and it'll have a little bit of a shadow for each one of these. All right. I know I'm going really fast today because this is a lot of information to fit into one video. So again, whenever you need to pause it, I know you can't see the video when you pause it, but if you need to stop so that you can get caught up with one step, pause it, finish that step, and then come back when you're ready. And if you ever need to rewind, you can always go back, rewind it, and finish. The last step I want to do for this is make sure that my shadows are coming off to the side. Okay, so I want to bring this shadow out to the side. Like so. Pretty cool, huh? Ooh, those look good. They look good enough to eat. And I'll make a little cherry on top here. And you can even use blue or something to create shadows inside of certain detail up here as well. You don't have to only do your colors down here. You can go back in and add detail here if you wanted to create different kinds of sprinkles in here. Could be kind of fun. So there's lots of different ways to do this. You do not have to stick to the colors that I chose. So you can kind of think about what your favorite cupcakes are. You can look up different cupcakes online to see what you would like to draw. And you can kind of draw these to match the cupcakes that you like the most. I hope you guys have fun doing this lesson. I cannot wait to see what you guys create. Post your pictures to your lesson when you are finished so that I can see what you did. Have a wonderful day, guys.